Hi Deirdre, this is Rebecca with your assignment to Still Life Critique. You did a fantastic job with your 3D elements on this still life, and the composition is also really nice. This lantern is perfect. I mean, it's so amazing. All these little details here, the shadows to show these ridges and texture. These highlights here, oh my gosh, just so good. And using 3D Revolve for the jar and the vase, it was a very good idea. They turned out really nicely. The brick looks fantastic. This texture that you added and the shadows, the gradients are really perfect. I could tell right away that it was a brick, so that's great. This shell is done really nicely. I love the gradients throughout this shell. The ridges turned out lovely, and it just shows so much texture and dimension. It's just fantastic. So the only areas lacking, I would say, are these two shells, which, I think that you may have run out of time from all the detail that you put into everywhere else. So I would just recommend putting in some gradients to separate the different levels of swirls. Same with on this one here, and I think that that's all it would really need to kind of mimic the realisticness of this shell here. This shell, it looks like it got a little lost behind this jar. I don't know if the whole shape is there or not. It looks like it got kind of cut off. So that's a tiny bit distracting. I don't know. Maybe you could, no, I don't know. Anyways, if it is actually there and the jar is just hiding it, then, maybe you can bump it out a little bit to make it not look like it's, been cropped. Or maybe that's just how the shell is, but I don't know. I've never seen a shell that's been cut like that. Also, the foreground, there's no surface that this is actually sitting on. It's just floating over a blue background. So I recommend adding some kind of a surface that the texture or color or gradients are different than the background, just to make this stuff feel more placed instead of floating, as well as adding some shadows to ground it onto that surface. Other than that, great work on the composition. I love all these multi-levels. Great work on the consistent lighting source. Fantastic job on the textures and using 3D Revolve and all of your gradients. So great work.